Greg, would you lead us, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Todd Warwick,
Times I'm gonna go different.
Greg Nelson,
Here.
Tom Jordan, Dick Samples,
Here.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Here.
Harry Jennings,
Here.
John Green,
Here.
Tim Mann,
Here.
Wow.
Rich Evans,
Here.
Tiffany Peters, Rob Cross.
All right, motion to approve the agenda minus we take action item. Gosh, I need to bring my glasses in here. Number 3 off the agenda.
Take number 3 off?
Number 3 off, we already have that taken care of, so.
Harry, could we add a quick closed session just to
Yeah,
follow
we
up
could,
on
and speak,
personnel?
I just realized I have 2018 on there, there've been 19 anyway, but.
Yeah, and then the number 1
Uh-huh.
says fiscal year 2019-2010. I didn't notice that. I had a resident ask me about that.
Yeah.
So it should be 2020. I'm not gonna act like I found that. Someone pointed it out to me.
Yes, that should be 2020. So with those corrections, and you would like
Yeah,
at
just
the,
a quick,
at the end, a closed session?
wherever you want it.
It doesn't matter to me, you want to do it at
That's
the beginning
fine.
or at the end?
No.
Do it at the end so everybody doesn't have to wait?
That probably would be better, yeah. And it would be for personnel.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
A second.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Any comments from the floor?
Yes. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Dan,
Okay.
I live on Havendale Drive.
Who are you, sir?
My name is Dan Kuczynski. And I live on Havendale Drive, and we have standing water problems. It's been going on for a couple of years now. It's getting worse and worse. Looks like the road is kind of crowning up, okay? And, or either that or the land's, sinking somewhere. But, and also, we have a couple of culvert problems too. And the people said they were willing to pay for the culverts to be replaced. And one person's name I know of is Larry Crimshaw. He lives down the road from me. That was his name, I remembered it.
Okay.
And that's all I got to say. You drive by, take a look. I mean, we have water there standing, like a week after it rains. We have no rain for a week, we still got water standing there. Thank you.
Are the culverts, are they broke? I mean, are they tore
Well,
up or
what
they
happened
clogged
was-
or what's the deal?
What happened was they came by and dug the ditches toward Michigan out deeper. Okay, what they did was they dug the ditch lower than the culverts. So now we got a couple houses there, got a pond sitting there.
And this is on the east or west side of the street? Which side are you talking?
Be on the west side. Well, kind of curved,
Jason, what we're gonna do,
Okay. Yeah, I would-
from West Street, all the way through Havendale, around the corner, all the way back out to Michigan, it's supposed to be flat. That's our problem, there's hardly any flow, any fall.
From where it starts on the south to the
Yes.
north?
Now, there may be some work that can be done, that may be something we look into having Scotty do with what we've done, because it's gonna take somebody with a transit, they're gonna have to shoot it, they're gonna have to shoot grade. And even at that, I don't know how much, we may be able to get it, I don't know how much flow we're gonna get out of it. So,
Okay.
Well, it seems like I've been watching this, we got a lot of water coming from the street above us, okay? Because it comes right between my house and my neighbor's house. We kind of had to make a little ditch going through our house there, between our houses, to get the water out. Otherwise, our whole yards were flooding out. So I just drove the car up and down a few times, and it didn't take long, I mean. But maybe that's where the water problem's starting at, from the street above. Because the street above kind of goes on down, and all the water is coming down toward us.
What is your address, the house that you're talking about in your yard?
Or my house is on 113 Avondale Drive.
So John, do you think some of that money we have allotted in the budget for Rawlings might?
Probably be a good place to start.
I mean, if you wanna explain that to them, that we have,
Yeah, John, you
Talked
can,
about-
yeah, or
if you wanna
Jason.
explain that
whatever.
to them, that we have talked about doing,
You know, you've seen us out and about, we dig ditches, we can only do so many here because there's only so many of us and we have to spend our time with other things, so we try to hit and miss. But the board has also budgeted a little bit of extra money this year for a line item to have an outside contractor dig some ditches. So that, your neighborhood may be one that we have him come over, shoot grade, see where it's at, and start from one end and go to the other and see what he can do, see if he can help it out any. But I can tell you now, as you know, you're pretty flat through there. I'm not saying we can't do anything, I just don't know how much flow we're gonna get. But we'll do what we can.
It might not be Havendale's problem.
Right.
It might be coming from the street behind us.
But there's nothing we can do if the elevation of the street behind you is higher than you, it's gonna come that way.
Well,
So all we
the street
can
goes like
do,
this.
all we can do is try to get, once it gets to the street, get it out. That's all we can do, we can't do anything on the property.
I understand that.
But we will do what we
I
can.
read all that.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
we will check into, yeah, like I said, you know,
I
it may
just
be
need
an
to
area
read
that we can, you know, do something or look into, so.
Get some dynamite, blow the road up.
Whoa,
Now, we never said that, Dan.
You better come ask for a permit before you do that.
Yeah, that's right. Tim, you better be watching his house.
We'll hear it, right?
Hey, you got that radio
I
set
don't
over
get
there
the
by
sense
the
that
park.
way we can turn him away from doing it.
Can you, one of you guys hand me a copy of your budget there so I can read the department the end numbers? I didn't bring a hard copy with me of the actual budget. I think it's the first one we
No,
had.
it's that right there. Yeah, right.
This one?
I didn't print out the new one, I just
Which
sent
one?
it on
Not the
email.
whole thing, 'cause I'm gonna read each individual
Oh, okay.
like that.
I got another one.
I'm just gonna follow along on my email.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, but I can't read it without my glasses, so.
Yeah, that's it, I think that's it.
All right, into our action items for the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. For the water department, we have a, go right ahead. Oh, I'm just gonna set this here. For the water department, we have a capital and operational totals of $553,408.50. For the sewer department, a total of $652,228.50.
288, I think, right? Did you say 228 or 2?
280, $652,288.50.
Gotcha.
Administrative and finance, total of $534,850. For parks, $20,900. Street department, $118,525. Codes, $42,499. Fire department, $339,030.
Harry, I think you're reading an old one.
I think that's an old one.
Am I reading the old one?
Yeah, because those,
Is
some
it
of
this
those,
one that he needs?
Yeah.
did you
Okay.
just print one?
Because we put that 250 in there
Yeah.
for the, road
We've
out
got
by
the
the-
streets.
Let me start over then.
Hey, you told me it was that one.
That's the.
You know what, this one's easy to read anyway. You wanna start over with that then? We'll give you a copy of these numbers too, but I know your radio's so
Next
more
slide.
voice.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's on the next slide.
All right. Administrative and finance budget, $556,100. Police, $921,250. Fire, $272,400. Ambulance, $29,270. Codes, $45,499. Street department, $334,250.
That's
Parks,
better.
$20,900. Water department, $553,408.50. Got 50 cents on there. Sewer department, $652,288.50. For TIF, $883,044. Tourism, and even $300,000. And motor fuel tax, $192,769. Any discussion? If not, a motion to approve our fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. A second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dick Samples,
Yes.
Todd Warwick,
Yes.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yes.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
A motion to approve our rock and chip bid. It's paid out of motor fuel tax. IRC had the lowest bid for $44,244. A motion to approve that bid.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yes.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan, Dick Samples,
Yes.
Todd Warwick.
Yes.
And skipping 3, going to action item 4, for the tourism grant for Prairie Land. You make that motion however you'd like. My advice would be we split it up and say, correct me if I'm wrong here, when we gave the grant to the church, we gave them a grant and then what they didn't use, they gave back, right? We could do that, and you could say 10,000 for the, up to 10,000 for the balloon, and then 20 or 15,000 for advertising, because I think those are the numbers we talked about. Sponsor the balloon for
I thought you
10,000.
said he was supposed to get some other things lined out, right back, didn't you?
We
Advertising.
can, or you can say up to 15,000 for advertising, and then we could leave it at that. That's up to you.
Yeah, then we wouldn't have to wait, because then we know it's earmarked for advertising. So if they don't do additional, they have to return the money.
But then it would be earmarked for advertising, and then it's
Right.
that's
So if we're sponsoring the balloon.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what you want to make the motion, we will. And the balloon was 10,000. Is that correct? You're shaking your head no.
Yes, the balloon is about 10,000 plus insurance.
Plus,
We don't have anything showing
We talked about that last night.
that. Right, but there was, you just said you didn't have it listed out or nothing. I don't know.
I'd like to make a motion for an amended amount of 25,000 to be given to Prairie Land for a tourism grant, for the cost of the balloon, which is an estimated $10,000 plus insurance, and also $15,000 for advertising, and that advertising bill will be prorated, or the bills not come to us, but the bills will be shown to us, and we can pay up to 15,000 that, but a total of 25,000 total. Does that make sense to everybody?
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Second to that motion.
Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Roll call, please.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan,
Right.
Dick Samples,
Yes.
Todd Warwick,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yes.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Okay, a motion to go into closed session for 5 ILCS 120/2C2 for discuss personnel issues.
So moved.
I guess technically we're motion to close.
Yes.
Open session first to go.
Yes, so moved.
And second.
Yeah.
Greg.
Roll call, please. That's fine. Yep, that's it.
Here it all, later.
No, you have to wait.
Yes.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill, Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan,
Thank you, Dan.
Yes.
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Any old business? Other than this right here, I want to discuss this.
I want
Oh, you were wanting to know, Jason, about you had hot air balloon stuff.
Oh, yes.
You were wanting to ask
Yeah,
about.
Can we do that?
Yeah, now you
Yes.
can.
Yeah.
Okay. No, the only reason.
Now you gotta wait till later.
Yeah.
That's on the next
Is there any
spreadsheet.
beer in that fridge? Is, now, did we have to put it in there before we just adjourn on that, or like say if there's 10-mile-an-hour winds that day and the balloon ain't gonna show up, then are we still expensing that or not?
If that's.
Because I feel that we shouldn't. If it's not gonna happen, then we
If
shouldn't.
there's not a charge from the balloon people.
Well, I didn't know if we had to put it in there.
If there's a charge from them, and they pay, like if they charge Prairie Land, then we're
Okay,
responsible.
because I know you kind of, maybe that filled in of what you were saying and what you were saying, but it didn't really say that. So
If there's
that's
an
why I'm
actual,
like,
if there's still an actual bill, even if there's, I mean, I would hope.
because I wanted to say no,
Might be
because I wanted that in there.
less
I would hope
Yeah.
that would be
Wouldn't it
included
be
in
less, maybe?
I would hope that'd be
So
included.
then
in
we
the
just be
insurance.
15 instead of the 25,
Yeah.
because
We could.
Sure, there's gotta be a contract.
I would think,
With
Oh,
wind
yeah.
insurance, I would hope.
Yeah.
Once you sign that contract, you're
or
obligated
if it
to
rained
pay
or whatever,
for
so
it.
Right.
that way we're not paying for something
But-
that wasn't even on the property.
Right.
Maybe there needs to be cancellation insurance.
Yeah, I would think there'd
So
be
it's
some kind
well,
of.
and he said insurance, so maybe that covers it,
That may
you
just be
think?
liability. though.
No, what he was
Oh.
talking about the other night is that balloon being on the property, and if something happens, because he said he covers it, but you know very well that
Well, let's
he
check
should
on.
carry something because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on the property.
Now, you probably do know this. With our tourism grant grant
He
stuff,
said yes.
if
He
you
told me the
get
other night.
more than
Yeah.
$3,000
So
or
that's
something,
not true.
don't you have to provide itemized list of expenses,
Yes.
like afterward, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Afterwards, because you don't
Afterwards.
have them ahead of time.
right.
And then they're supposed to actually, and we haven't done a very good job of looking at them as a board. We really need to look and make sure, did they turn in?
Okay.
Because Tiffany usually gets what she needs, but I don't know that we've ever really looked back over them and
Yeah. So
said if we were happy that we spent the money.
what I was just thinking, and Paula confirmed, was that tourism grants over a certain dollar amount, and is it 3,000?
Yes, it's
They're like
3,000.
1,500 and
Or is
then,
it 1,500?
1,500 and under, and then 1,500 and above.
Okay,
Yes.
so 1,500 and over.
Yeah.
The person getting the tourism grant has to return to us an itemized list of expenses
Yeah.
for what they use the money for. So, he would be required to return, the bill for this was 11,000, so your 10,000 went all to it. The bill for this was 2,000 because it was raining and they didn't come. So here's your 8,000 back, for that. Like that, he, by the rules, should be giving us that information anyway, so.
Right.
Well, he did say, now, Tuesday night, he said that wasn't with his, and then he said yes all ago, so.
Well,
Did you notice that?
there was some head shaking. What he was wanting was 25,000 to go in the coffer and then spend it however.
Well, what I'm saying is, he said that was with insurance, and the other night, he said that was with not.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why, he just said yes, and the other night he said no.
No, he
So-
said 10 plus insurance, didn't he, just tonight?
I said 10, that's with insurance, 10 with the
I thought he
insurance.
said plus insurance.
I thought he said plus two.
Dick, you need to call him and figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
Is that on the next slide?
While we're
That's
on
on the
that
next
subject
slide.
of the Prairie Land, I did ask him about our little miss and mister or whatever
Oh,
we call
good,
them.
yeah.
And doing that on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in the afternoon, he said he'll work with us 100%.
Cool.
And I said, well, what have you got? And he said from 1 to 3, they have some band scheduled. And I said, we could do this from 10 till noon to 10
Sure.
to 1 or something in the morning, which is not gonna hurt anything, I don't
It
think.
might be better because it might be a little cooler. Those poor little
Yeah.
kids roast in the sun.
So we gotta get started on this if we're gonna do this Little Princeton.
I think Tim was gonna ask his wife if she'd do it again.
She did a good
But
job.
we got a place, we got a venue, we got a
Oh, that'd
time,
be
we got it all.
perfect.
And a built-in
Can we
audience,
crown a trustee
everything.
also?
Yeah, we can crown a trustee.
Would you like to be the trustee of the year, like Jason?
No, I'm saying like, like the little miss, we'll do the.
The
You mean
big
have a
mister
trustee
and
crown?
big
You wanna be the
misses.
big
Big mister. Big
Like
mister and
judge on
big
who's the
miss.
prettiest and the-
You have to wear a dress.
But you
Hey, whatever, I'll rock it.
You ain't seen Bronzeville, you got 90 little women, girls out there and 90 mothers, maids gonna whoop
Oh,
you.
yeah, it can be great.
It's just not good.
And on that, maybe, I don't know if it's new business, but Tom Winter, I've gotta call him back. Isn't that the boat races? And do you remember what we spent before?
I
Somebody
wanna
said
say it's
Was it 15?
15, but
Okay,
1,000
so
or 15?
if he needs, like the 15, because I know we have a meeting, but that's our board meeting, so we haven't technically talked about it in a committee. If that's what he wants and it's 15, can I let you know, and would everybody have
You're talking 1,500.
100, yeah, would everybody, yeah, not 15,000, 1,500, would everybody be all right with that going on the agenda in case, because when is that?
Oh, it's not till September.
September
Last part.
13th.
Oh,
to the
so he would
15th.
be okay, I just didn't know if it was.
Last year it was on the July agenda though, I did notice that.
Okay,
And
Okay.
last year they didn't have it because it rained.
Didn't they reschedule it though? It just was,
I don't
yeah,
think
they
they
did
did.
reschedule it, it just didn't
I've
have
never
very
been
good
to it.
attendance.
oh, okay, so I'll let you all know what he
Okay.
says.
Speaking of that though, that's what I was gonna say, is you think we could come up with some images by the board meeting?
Yeah, that'd be,
Approve
This
this?
one provided by
What,
Tom.
what I just came up with that in about, I don't know, half.
And I think between this and the other ones we had,
Uh-huh.
I think we could come up
I
with
mean,
something.
that's
I do
simple.
too.
It's, you know, it's got our name on it, it's
I'll
got
hand
our
that down.
website on it, it's
Yeah, I
got
like
the
it.
hotels, the restaurants.
yeah,
I told the other night that I thought Rick would have something. I stopped by there a while ago before the meeting, and he said that he's kind of touched on it, but, and I said, well, I'd like to have something by the next meeting. He said it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, good. So maybe
I'll
we
make
could
sure-
decide it.
I'll
So I was
put that-
hoping
I
I'd
got
have something for
one. Oh,
tonight,
okay.
I'll put that as an action item then on the, for the.
And
because the
Second.
other, the other one that you had
Uh-huh,
was actually, with the bed in the background, that was
Yeah.
actually a nice one, but I think just maybe alter something.
yeah, yeah, still need to get with
Well,
Ashley about that.
between the group of them, I think we'd be able to come up with more
Oh,
that we
yeah.
can approve and
What's the
Without-
deadline on that? When's the company come?
they don't come till towards the end of the month. So
If we make a decision
we make a
In
decision
2
on,
weeks.
yeah,
Then
we'll make
we
a
will be
decision on the
set.
second, we'll be set and it'll be
Yeah.
up probably end of July
Good.
and it'll be up for a long time.
I don't want to step out of line here, but I need to tell Lomolino something about those 6 banners.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah,
Is it,
what are you
I'm
asking?
good to go with that,
okay, does
yeah.
anybody have any objections? These banners were saying this event co-sponsored or sponsored by the 4 motels of South Jacksonville. And they have pictures of the motels on there. And we simply give them,
Loan
absolutely correct. We loan them to Prairie Land, we loan them to the fair, we loan them to whoever, and make sure they're up.
How much are they? Do you
They
remember?
were, I think they were $7.25 for 6 of them,
How big were they?
4 by 8.
And Lomolino do a good job.
Oh, yeah, they do great. So they'll have the grommets and heavy
Yeah.
duty and,
Yeah, they'll have the gold rings in them so you can have.
There's probably
just
some
zip
in there, because I did this when I was.
There are, they're just out of date.
Oh,
Yeah.
their banners are the ones that you stick?
No, banners,
Oh,
big.
big banners.
Banners.
You hang them on fences and,
Oh.
yeah.
Speaking of the billboard, Tiffany mentioned to
Vinyl.
us last time, if we can come up with some generic
oh,
vinyl
yeah, yeah.
for our Main Street billboard for when what we put up there expires and we have gaps, that apparently they can put up the vinyl and take it back down
I
and
had
store
no
it.
idea they could do
Neither
that.
did I.
I think that's great, because
Um,
sometimes they're out of date for a while before we
You
change.
want what on it for?
It's something generic.
Just
The
welcome to the
South
village,
Jacksonville,
something,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Then when it's out of date, they put that up till we put a new one, and that's great, because sometimes it's old and,
We don't have
No.
the steam show auction
Yeah.
up there for 6 months.
yeah,
Right,
right.
Yeah.
So maybe we can come up with something for
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good. We need a generic for
All right,
that.
any new business?
Yes, one bit of new business. In Tom Jordan's absence, I must mention that we must update the village website now.
Oh, yeah,
You're right, though, it's getting worked on, it is getting worked on.
that's Tom's new pet project.
Without Sherm, I don't know what to do. Who's our next?
Motion to adjourn!
A second.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
I miss your.
Oh, same sign, right? I don't know what to do.